Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. All right, guys, this is going to be a really fun night. I have been looking forward to this for quite some time since getting this scheduled and booked with our amazing special guest. And we're here. The day has come. It is here finally. And thank you all for coming tonight and being a part of this really special event. Just want to acknowledge a few folks before we get started. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of my moderators in the chat tonight. Appreciate all of you guys keeping this a fun, safe, positive environment for everyone. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. And of course, I want to acknowledge my incredible patrons. Thank you guys for your support. Appreciate everything that you do. And of course, all of my channel members. You guys know who you are. You are the Cravenites, and I appreciate you guys' support. It really does help the channel. It helps the channel grow. It helps me continue to having great guests, live streams, and all the stuff that we do here. So thank you all for your support. I really do appreciate you. So tonight we are going to do something a little different. As you guys know, it is a sleepaway camp time. It's almost summertime. We're in April. We're getting there, but it's never too early for summer camp, and especially sleepaway camp. So yes, tonight we are going to revisit one of our favorite movies, and it just never gets old. Don't care how many times you watch it. There is just so fun. And we're going to dive into this today in quite good detail. And my guest tonight is someone you know very well, very well from the movie itself. Of course, tonight's guest is going to be one of our counselors. And I said earlier that we're going to be going to camp, and we are indeed going to go to camp, excuse me, with Miss Katherine Kamhi. You know her as Meg. What is going on, Katherine?
Hi
Welcome.
guys, welcome. Cheers.
Yes.
We're ready for camp, and the name is Meg, Meg.
Love it. Yes. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming tonight. This is
Thank
going to
you.
be so much fun.
We're gonna have a good time. We're at the bar we built during the pandemic. Got a drink poured. Let's go.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. And for everyone in the live chat, you guys know how it goes. We're going to be visiting. We're going to be talking. I will be keeping an eye on the chat every now and then. I know you're there. And if you guys have a burning question for Meg, we'll keep her in character tonight. How about that, Catherine? Is that cool with you?
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
I love
Bring it
that. So
on.
so if you got a question for Meg that's burning that you want to make sure that we talk about, be sure you send a super chat in with that question. I get a special notification. I'll see it. Otherwise, I'm going to still try to get to everyone. But as you guys know, as hard as I try, don't always get to every single one. It's just the way it goes. It's just because of time and our conversation flow. So don't take it personal. I know you guys don't. You understand. But that's what we'll do tonight. So Meg, so cool. It's so cool. So
Yes,
Meg,
Angela.
this is oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, I can't really do it too good. I try, but I don't do it too good. Not like her. I can't do it like her.
No one
So
can. No one can.
right, facts, 100%. So let's if we could kind of go back a little bit or a little ways back, and could you kind of tell me how this all came about for you to how did you first hear about this role, this audition process, and what was that like at the beginning?
Yeah, well, I was born and raised in New York, and I was on a soap opera called All My Children back in the early 80s. And this audition came up for this. My agent said, "You want to audition for this horror film?" I said, "Sure." Is there a script? Nope. You just got to go in. You're going to do improv. I said, "Okay."
Wow.
So went into the audition, knew nothing. And Robert Hiltzik, the director, just said, "Would really like you just to be a drill sergeant in the army and really go after your troops, really go after them." I said, "Okay." And he said, "But in the middle of everything, make sure you say your name, MEG, and spell it out." And that was the only line he gave me. And I guess it worked.
Wow, that's so cool. So how was it? How was like Robert's, I should say spirit, temperament? How was the setting? Was it pretty intimidating, or how did you feel when you were going into it?
I mean, it was really intimidating because we filmed at an actual camp. which
Hmm.
was amazing in upstate New York. And we had kids our age there. I had just turned 18. It was my first job away
Okay.
from my family and not having my mom on set. And
Wow.
so we had sort of our age group, and then we had sort of Felissa Rose, who played Angela, of course, iconic
Hmm. Hmm.
actress. She was about 14, so we had her. We had Chris Collet and Jonathan Tiersten. They were all sort of
Hmm.
13, 14, 15 years old. So we had sort of two different groups of teenagers, and um, you know, I'm sort of in
Yes.
the older group,
The older group.
dating, and yeah, the older group dating, maybe having a drink, because the drinking age was 18 then. So
Oh my
uh,
goodness.
yeah, so it was sort of two different groups of wild teenagers at a camp.
Oh wow, that's awesome, and that makes sense because you identify with your groups that you're in. You're birds of a feather, right? You all kind of come together at different.
Totally.
You're at different levels, especially at those years, right? It's
Oh,
a
absolutely.
huge gap between 12, 13, and 18 at that time. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, for
Um,
sure, for sure. It was more like they were our little sisters and brothers. We were very protective over them. So,
yes, yes, I love that. Um, one of my friends of the channel here, a good friend of mine, Jack Stannis, who's a huge fan, wants to say hi, and he's been a huge fan of the movie since he was young. And Steven, which is of course me, I know how special this movie is to him. Absolutely,
oh,
it's very cool.
oh, hi, Jack. That's your name, Jack. Jack's his name.
Yep, Jack Stannis. Yep, Jack. Uh huh.
That's my son's name, Jack. That's a great name.
Ooh. Oh, Jack,
Yes,
that's awesome.
yes,
That's
yes.
so
And as a matter
cool.
of fact, well, nice to meet you, Jack. And great name. And
I love it.
when my son Jack was about 13, maybe 12, actually 11 or 12, he was a big horror film fanatic, and
Hmm.
I screened the movie for him and his little friends, and at the end they all just kind of sat there and went, I don't get it, huh? And I said, think about it, and then they were all screaming. Then they really understood it. So
Oh, that's so good. I see Jojo has a $5 super chat. Well, thank you, Jojo, for your support of the channel. Thank you very much.
yay.
Appreciate that very much. So you're on set now. Now, how long was the shoot for? How long were you guys at the summer camp?
I feel like it was at least, I mean, for me, I think it was at least 2 or 3 weeks. I was going back and forth because I was shooting the soap at the time in the city.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
ABC would have a car to drive me back and forth. And
Wow.
I think, yeah, around 3 or 4 weeks, I feel like we kind of got
Okay.
everything done. But I wasn't up there the entire time. So I would go back and
Sure.
forth, unlike some of the other actors that were.
Wow. And did you guys shoot in sequence? I'm just curious because some productions are done in sequence of the script, and others are shot out of sequence a lot. How was that done for you guys?
Yeah, totally out of sequence.
Yeah.
Totally out of sequence. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I remember very specifically going, "Whoa, what are we shooting today?" You just sort of go with it. Yeah.
Well, there was another counselor there that I'll tell you what, the two of you guys were quite two of you ladies were quite the pair, and when we have Judy
Hmm.
here and we've got Meg, the dynamic duo, right? This is the dynamic
Yay!
duo.
The witches of Eastwick. Yes.
Absolutely. But and there's this one particular scene that every time it comes up, I'm like, oh goodness. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And it's this scene. I have to talk about that right here. This is just incredible scene. And what is amazing to me in this is how you are so in just passionate and you're so into that moment and like talk to me, say something. It's so intense, and Felissa is just like frozen, and it was like just
Amazing.
unbelievable, like no
Yeah.
movement. I don't think
Amazing.
I ever saw her blink. It was like, how, my goodness, how many takes did you guys take to get that shot with that scene? I'm curious.
Yeah, a few. I do remember a few of those, and I was really concerned because she was 13 years old, to not
Oh
hurt her mentally or physically. And I
yes,
remember no matter what I said to her, she said, just throw anything you want at me. And this was her first movie. She was
wow,
incredible. I mean, nothing phased her. I just was always, where I'm acting, right? I'm going to shake you. I'm going to yell at you. She goes, yep, anything you want. Nothing. She was incredible. Incredible. And because, as an actor, I want to make it as real as possible and really yell at
yeah,
her and really hurt her, but you're working with a child, so
yeah,
you
that's
have to
so
be
true.
careful. And
Yeah.
yeah, and she was incredible and made my job much easier.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'll say this for everyone, honestly, the whole cast, everyone did such an amazing job. And what I admired about this is that a lot of times you'll see movies where you'll have 25, 26 year olds playing, 17-year olds, right? 16-year olds
Yep.
and,
Yep.
and 19-year olds playing 12, 13-year old, whatever. And
Yeah.
this was something where it was authentic. Like you guys were really right there in that age range you're playing, which was
That's a
I thought
really
was
good point.
yeah, I just thought that was. I still to this day think that's brilliant that was
Yeah.
done. And then when you see Ricky and some of the characters that, man, the language, I'm like, oh, I said, boy, I wonder what
I
they
know.
felt like being able to do that, like not with no, like no,
I
not being told
know.
no.
I
Oh,
know. Well, a little uh, tidbit is I just had coffee and saw Chris Collet for the first time yesterday in 30 something
oh,
years.
oh my
And
goodness!
yeah, so he's going to continue his acting career now, which is very exciting. And here's the big announcement now. But he's
Wow.
amazing. And again, I knew him as a child, so it was so nice to meet as adults and talk and hang out and yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
because he
But you're
did a
right; it was
great
very
job.
authentic.
It
Oh,
was authentic. He did a great job as Paul. I thought that was just it was really good. And again,
incredible.
just the way and it all came together, and it really felt like everyone was at summer camp. It really felt like I could
Yeah,
it felt like I was going to a summer camp with you guys when you're watching the
yeah,
movie. You're really
yeah.
there, like this is
Totally. Well, we
very
were. We were
real.
at a camp. We were at a
Yeah,
camp. So
like
we
the
were
real
we
thing.
were yeah, we were staying in a motel not too far from the camp. So we were a bunch of teenagers let loose in a motel. Um, and there was a bowling alley and a movie theater near us. That's about all we had. So we would go bowling after or sit on the roof of a car or whatever and have a
Oh,
beer or, just hang out. And then we were at the camp. So it was fun. We had a great time.
oh, that's so great. How many chaperones were hired?
Well, none for
No,
me, but I
not
know
for you.
Clarissa's mom was there and Chris Collet's mom was there, and I can't
Uh,
remember if Jonathan's mom was there, but yeah, we had a couple of moms up there too, so we were
I
careful.
bet.
We were careful, yeah.
That's so awesome. Oh gosh. Now, as the movie unfolds and we start to learn more about all of these characters,
Yes,
there's there's a couple of individuals that kind of give you the hibby shibbies, if you will. Of course,
just a few.
just a few, yes, and one in particular who is someone that I like to watch him on screen, and but at the same time your skin crawls, and of course it's someone who had a particular affection for you
Yeah. Oh,
in this movie. Just he had the eye for Mel, yes. And of course, we're talking about Mel. Look at that. Look at Mel.
I mean, look. Okay, all I can say is the lips. Come on, they're juicy. You had to get into
I
those lips.
love it. I love it. I mean,
Uh,
and Mel he was really wanting to have dinner with you very badly. It was
yes, he did, and
yes he
and so
did,
did she. So did
and
she.
she
But I
did.
think from go ahead.
No, no, no. You're right. Please continue because you're absolutely right.
No, I was
Yeah.
just going to say for Meg, I think it was about power. He was the most powerful
Hmm.
person, and so she wanted to hook up with him. So she'd have that power.
Yeah. I mean, because I guess if you're in really good with him, you got carte blanche, right? I mean,
Totally, I could beat Angela up, beat Ricky up, beat Paul up, beat anybody up, and I get away with it.
so I'm just curious, like how was that interaction with you and him, like in between cuts, with Mike Kellen? What was that like? Did you guys spend a lot of time together in between cuts, or was it more or less just kind of come together and shoot, and you kind of go separately after that?
I mean, a little bit of both. I mean, he was an iconic, incredible actor who,
Hmm.
my parents were so excited. I didn't really know who he was as much at the time, but when I
Hmm.
knew who was playing the part, I looked up his films and everything. And he was an incredible actor who had such an amazing resume. And, my family was so excited I was working with him. So we were very respectful. We knew
Hmm.
how legendary he was. And
Yes.
so I think we spent a little time. I remember he was trying to figure out too why Meg was into him at the same time as an
I
actor. So we were trying to
love
piece
it.
that together, and we
Uh,
weren't. I think originally there was a kiss, and then we didn't end up doing it, which I'm kind of glad about because I
hmm.
felt like it left a little more to like the imagination of what those two
Hmm.
had happened before or was it
Yes.
just going to happen? Yeah. So And then unfortunately, Mike Kellen passed away when the movie opened, so he
Oh,
never
I
got to see
know.
it.
He
It's so
didn't
sad.
get to
Yeah.
see it. That's so
No,
sad. What a
I
shame.
know. I know.
Oh.
I know. Crazy.
Well, but you know what? I'll say this, again, all of his work aside, even though this movie, we're still talking about this incredible, little movie, if you will, at the time when budget
Yeah.
wise, I'm saying, it's a small picture at the time, but
Totally. Oh yeah.
but but look how it is today. Here we are in 2022, and it's I admire this movie. I had fun with this movie. I love to
Yeah.
watch this movie. It just, it's so entertaining. It's so
It
entertaining, and
I'm so glad, and thank you for everybody who's joining in and here. And it's
yeah,
so you guys are the ones that make it have kept it going, and thank you, and we really appreciate it. And I just started doing conventions about a year before COVID,
hmm,
so I had heard about these conventions, but I didn't know anything about it. And I was acting and raising kids who are also actors, and very busy. And finally, Felissa convinced me to come out and do one, and it was the best thing I ever did. Meeting all the fans, I had no idea what happened with this movie. I had no idea. You know, as an actor, you do your job and you move on
yeah,
to the next. And that
hmm,
was a long time ago, and I had no idea what had happened. So when I saw a line of people at my table waiting to meet me, I'm like, what? What the heck has happened with this
uh,
little film?
that's right. I'm telling you,
So it was crazy.
I'm not surprised at all. Personally, I'm not. I'm so glad that because I'm there is. This is such a fun movie. It's got such its own growth.
It's
It's kind
great.
of grown on its own organically. Even it's just taken
Completely.
off. And
Yeah, and you couldn't do it today. I don't think you could do it, like we did then, so
mm-mm.
authentically with kids the same age. And I just don't think you
Yes.
could do the topic or anything right today.
No, and that's a fun because I've had a conversation with friends about this even here on the channel before, where we've
Yeah,
discussed that very thing. We're like, this is one of those movies that's so iconic in what it did because it really probably can never be done again,
yeah,
with the climate, with the way things are now. Yeah,
exactly.
it would have to be all 20 something year olds,
Right,
playing
right,
teens, and
totally.
even though then, Catherine, it would be. I don't think you could pull off the rawness of what was pulled off here. You just,
You
it
couldn't,
was the
you couldn't, you couldn't.
it was
It,
the era we lived in, right? It was that
yeah,
the time at that time
completely.
you could do it. And
Yeah, I mean, the short shorts too, and all the
oh
boys
my
wearing the
goodness.
the cut off tanks and the short shorts,
Yes.
and me with my
Oh.
bandana. I don't know why I was wearing the bandana every which way, but
But you rocked it though. I mean,
hey, I would like to show the viewers something if they'd like to see. I would like to take you with me. I'm going to
of
walk over.
course.
I
Yes,
had
please.
the night the movie closed. It might get a little dark for a second.
It's
I
all right.
was at the movie theater in the last show, and I asked if I could have the poster that was in the original poster that was outside the movie
Okay.
theater, and
Uh-huh.
they let me have it, and that's it.
Oh
Can you see
no.
that?
Oh, I can.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the original from the original movie theater in Times Square.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, it's quite exciting. And I didn't get it autographed or anything because I kind of wanted to just keep it the way it was. And I
Yeah.
I had to hide
Wow.
it for many years because my daughter was terrified of it.
Oh
And I just
no.
about 3 years ago pulled it out of the attic, and there it was in perfect condition. And now of course my daughter is a horror film actress and writer. So um
Oh man,
yeah,
that's so cool.
so
That's pretty cool,
crazy.
huh? That's pretty neat. Yeah, having that in the
Yeah,
family, keeping it
little
going.
tour of the of Meg's house.
That was no, listen, that was really incredible. That
Oh,
original, that's
good. I'm
wow,
so
that's
glad.
fantastic. I think it's
Yeah, it
great.
was good.
Um, Jax Dennis is coming back in with a five
Hi,
dollar super chat.
Jack.
What's up,
Hi,
Jack?
Jack.
Jack says it's a pleasure to virtually meet
Hi,
you. Hoping
Jack.
to meet the whole cast one day.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely. Where do you live, Jack? What area? Where are you
uh,
in the country?
I think Jack, he's actually in. I could speak for him just because I know him.
Uh,
He's in Arizona, actually.
Oh, we just got back from Arizona a few weeks ago. We had a screening there
Oh
in
no!
Phoenix. Oh,
Oh man!
it was great, but we'll come back. We'll come back. We'll come back.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Jack. Jack, and he says, he said, thank you for being such a part of such an amazing movie. It's a classic in my
Oh,
eyes. Oh, mine too.
oh, Jack, thank you so much. Thank you.
Awesome.
DM me on Instagram. I answer. I love to chat.
Yes. She does. I can validate that. She does.
It
It was
might take
very
a few days, but I will. Yeah.
it was very refreshing. I was like, oh look, Catherine's responding.
I love
Now
it.
we're going to talk spoilers. Just to let everybody know, just so I get it out there now. We're going to be talking spoilers as we move along. We're not going to hide. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, I would encourage you to just come back later, watch the replay. But you should probably want to stick around because we've got Meg right here in real time. What are you
Woo!
talking about, man? Come on, this is the best. So, but we are going to talk everything, so we're not going to hold anything back. And there's a I don't know if it's controversial or not, but maybe there's a question that I want to ask you about to see what your thoughts are. And what actually we have it from the chat as well, and it's about the scene where we see the door open
Mhm.
and the silhouette is there and in the cabin, and I believe, and it looks to be like Ricky is standing there in this silhouette, and when you have it in HD you
Yeah.
really can see it. Can
Yes.
you solve that mystery or confirm that if we're right or wrong on that?
Yeah, it was him in a wig. Yes.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you.
You got it.
Perfect.
100%. I
Sweet.
only found that out later too because I obviously wasn't there for some of the filming that did involve my character. So I
Yeah.
only got that from Felissa, and she said yes, that was him. Someone asked the question at a Q&A we were at, and that was him. Yeah, in a wig.
Oh, there you go.
And his
And
hands in some of the scenes. In his hands in some of the scenes as well.
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's and before it's funny because all the years before I would watch it, not in high def, I
Yeah.
couldn't tell. It was
Mm-mm.
just the silhouette outline, and I guess when they
Totally.
transferred it to the HD, everything got upscaled and it came a
Yeah.
lot more clear. So
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah. We found a couple of bloopers in it that we talk about during our live screenings. That we sometimes do screenings and we chat. We go to the
oh
movie and sit with everyone
yeah.
and chat through the movie and point out sort of some of the bloopers or and it's a lot of fun.
Oh,
So
oh,
yeah,
that's awesome. I love
yeah,
it. I love it. And let's see, one more question here I'll go to, then we'll get back to
yeah.
some other things. Fate Decided, one of my good friends of the channel, and we have actually share a channel
Oh,
together,
hi.
is in the house. He says, was it a big change to go from All My Children to a film like Sleepaway Camp? Like, I guess turning the switch off and on.
Great question. Yes. The only thing we had in common is I played a bitch in both the soap and the movie. So, so good question. But yes, it was completely different style of acting. But the interesting thing is that the soap was sort of bigger and very soapy kind of acting. And I think the reason I got Sleepaway Camp was because that's what Robert, the director, wanted for the movie. Because when we first started filming, I was trying to keep it more real, like you do in movie acting, but he wanted it big and over the top and like a little more soapy. So I think that's one of the reasons I got that
Mhm.
part was because that's how I auditioned, since I was doing a soap at the time. And so he did want that. So it was similar but different. Yes, definitely.
Yes,
Great
nice.
question.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So, when you got the script, let me ask you this. So, you did the audition, you
Yeah,
got the job, you got the part, you
yeah,
got the part.
yeah.
So, were you given the full script or at once, or were you given just your parts? Or
I just the full script minus the last page. So I knew who the killer
oh,
was, but I didn't know the ending
okay,
till I don't even think I knew the ending while I was filming. I don't think I knew the ending till later.
okay. I
Yeah.
was
It
wondering
might have
about
even
that.
been when I saw it. Yeah, it might have been maybe we found out sort of somewhere along the way during filming, but
Okay.
had to sign, non-disclosures and all that stuff. So
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Phew. So, yeah, I guess once the movie came out, you had freedom at that point, right? I was because or how did that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much just yeah. Okay.
Yeah, once it came out, yeah. But you don't want to give. But at this point, I mean, if we give spoilers, I mean that's
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, sorry, we're gonna give spoilers right now. But
Absolutely. We're going to get to our big spoiler here coming up. We also have a super chat, $5 super chat from Carrie Craves Cinema. What's up, Carrie?
hey, Carrie, hi,
Good
Carrie.
evening. Carrie says, Catherine, thank you so much for showing us the amazing
Oh,
Sleepaway Camp poster. Thank you
oh, you're
so much for
welcome.
being here with us.
My
Oh,
pleasure. Thank you. I've actually never showed that anywhere to anybody who hasn't been to my house. So Craven
Oh,
something. Craven is the first place to ever see that. So,
how about that? Well, I'm double honored then. Thank you. That's a
of
first
course.
right here. That's so cool. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I love it. Oh,
And
so
it was given to me. I didn't take it. I did ask for it. So
just you gotta
there,
clarify.
well, there's rumors out there. I just took it and broke the glass, but that's not what happened.
Oh,
So
no.
definitely not.
No. Oh, so when you, what were your thoughts? I just want I just want to pick your brain. So when the movie's completed, what when did you see the final version? Was it at a premiere? Was it before the premiere, or how did that unfold for you?
Yeah, no, I went and saw it at the I don't even remember if there was a screening. I think I just went and saw it with my friends and family.
Okay.
Um, yeah, at the movie theater. So it was
Wow.
amazing. Yeah, amazing. And even though maybe I can't really remember if I knew, I must have known the ending, but seeing it like that live, and of
Mm,
course, your family seeing it, everybody was just sort of like, "What the hell, really?" It's shocking to see because it's
it
not just
is.
that, but it's just the whole facial expression and the whole
Oh,
demonic ending. It just
yes. The voice,
every
the
time I see,
oh,
yeah,
it's
the
so
music. Every time I see it, it gets to me.
yes, I showed it. It's so funny because a friend of mine saw it not too long ago for the first time, and that's
Oh wow,
the most fun thing in the world is
yeah,
to meet someone who's not seen it, and you're like,
yeah,
we got to watch this together. I got it because I
yes,
got to see the reaction. But
yes,
I
yes.
remember them saying that like 3 or 4 days afterwards, that last image and the sound, the music with the music that loud, and it was loud on purpose,
Oh yeah,
obviously. That
oh
music
yeah.
and then that sound, all of that together.
I
He said it
know.
haunted him, like
Oh,
it
I
couldn't
am
he couldn't get it out of his head.
totally. I
Yeah,
understand. I understand.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah,
powerful.
it
It's
is.
powerful,
It is.
and it's a
Yeah,
shock.
for
But
sure. Oh yeah, all of the above. It's still when I see it. I mean, it absolutely still. I mean, my my daughter too, who's she couldn't see it till she was much older. She just
mhm.
was, even though my son saw it younger, she was just too scared. I think she had seen clips and stuff. So
Wow, man, that's because that would. It, I mean, I saw it a little bit later,
yeah,
not so much as a young kid, and even then when
mm,
every time I saw it, even now when I see it, I watched it recently again, like a week ago,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it just gets me. Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
we have another someone from the chat, Tori. What's going on, Tori?
Hi,
Says, hey,
Tori.
she says, "Hey, Catherine, I'm a huge fan
Hey,
of Sleepaway
Tori.
Camp.
Aw,
It's one of my all-time favorites. What was it
yay.
like working on the movie? So, just like overall, what was it like?"
It was wonderful. It was incredibly interesting and fun because you were working with the special effects genius that we were. Who knew at the time how incredible he was. But it was also difficult because when you're filming outdoors too, you're dealing with mosquitoes and bugs and ants and cold water in the lake. And so, as fun as it is to be on location, it's actually very difficult as well.
Hmm.
So for me, I had filmed in and around New York, so I was kind of used to the outdoors, but that was definitely challenging. Weather
Yes.
and young kids working with teenagers. So it was definitely, we wanted to fool around a bit too, but then you had to get serious for work. So
Yes.
um,
Yeah. I'm wondering too, because there's of course a lot of bickering and fighting going on in the movie with amongst the campers. Of course.
right, 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 right.
And did you see like what was the temperament like between the cast, the young cast? Did you ever see anybody getting like around each other like too much or too hot or whatever?
I didn't personally. I only heard later that Angela dated Ricky. So she talks about that,
Oh.
which I didn't know about because I was in the different age group. I was dating two of the other guys. Well, one other guy, and then we broke up, and then I dated another guy on the show. Just a couple of like little makeout sessions, not nothing too
Oh,
serious. But
I
they
love
played
it.
two of the counselors, and still my friend to this day. But Tom, but uh, yeah. So we sort of stayed out of. I didn't know that dating was going on between Angela and Ricky, and I only found out later.
Oh.
So yeah. So we
So
were
that
definitely being teenagers.
So that was on the down low. Even on the set, it
It's
was
on the
on the
down.
down low.
Yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea. I like to socialize and everything, but I also keep to myself. And as again, I was going back and forth to the city filming the soap, so I really
Hmm.
had no time to kind of, see what everybody else was up to. I kind of, you know, I
Yeah,
was busy. I was busily
you
making
were.
out with one of the other guys. So
Yeah, exactly.
I was
You had your
having my
mind on
own
other
fun.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Now, I'm really curious because this is something that was stunning to me when I learned it. But the great James Earl Jones' father, right, Robert Earl
Yes, Robert
Jones.
Earl Jones. Yeah, yeah.
My goodness! Now, when you were filming, first of all, did you have a chance to meet him, or did you guys film at separate times?
I did have a chance to meet him, and it was incredible. And I was really honored. And I remember saying how much I loved him and his son. And absolutely, he was
Yes.
such a lovely, sweet, kind man, and
Oh,
grateful for the work, which was nice. When someone's grateful and has gratitude, it's lovely.
yes. And he seems that way even, in the times we have him on camera. He
Yeah,
just, I don't know. Some people just have when you see him, you get a feeling. I can't describe it. You just get a
exactly.
feeling, and
100%. It's our gut.
it's yeah, it's a good, yeah. And
Yeah.
I have that every time I see him, I'm like, I just had that feeling about that. That probably is a very nice man right there.
Yeah, he was very nice man, very grateful and loved working and loved acting and you could just feel that and was happy to be
Yeah.
part of the movie, because we didn't know it was like a silly horror film to us. We had no idea what was going to
Yeah.
happen with it. It was a low budget,
Hmm.
film. We thought it was very clever and well written but nobody really thought it was going to become what it did. So we were just all grateful to have a job and to be part of something,
Absolutely. Oh, so Carrie has a $2 super chat. Thank you, Carrie. And she says,
Hi,
"S-
Carrie.
so sleep away camp lived up to its name. Oh,
Yes.
in other words,
Oh.
a little hanky panky. I think it's what being inferred here on the just a little. I love that. That's awesome. Thanks, Carrie.
Just a little,
Oh,
but yes, we did. But it was again, because we were the age we weren't 25-year-olds, we were 17,
yeah,
15, 14, 18. We were having a blast. And Robert, the director, wanted us to have a good time because you want to keep your cast happy, so we
yeah.
were really enjoying each other's company and our friendship stayed for all these years and I'm friends with everybody.
Well,
So
that's what I was about to ask you next was how were you able to retain because it's so often when you work with folks and of course not
yeah,
I'm thinking more obviously I'm not in the acting field but in other types of work you meet and you go on to other jobs and you very rarely
yeah,
stay in touch with anybody sometimes you mean
it's
to
true.
but you just so you answered my question there so you've been able to stay in touch with a lot of everyone from the cast a lot of the actors.
Yeah, well, I think social media really helped when Facebook
Mm,
came out, however many years ago that was. I
yeah.
became immediately friends with Felissa, and um, so that really changed things with social media. And then once you
Oh
start doing
yeah.
conventions and you see everybody out there, and
Hmm.
she and I are very close. And now I've just reconnected with Chris Colley, who played Paul, Jonathan, who
Yeah.
played Ricky, and then Karen Fields, who played. Uh,
Oh, is it
Judy,
Judy?
Judy,
Judy. Yeah,
Judy,
it's
Judy.
Judy. Yeah.
She and I are also friendly. I was just texting her yesterday. We did one convention together, and she's going to come out. The big 40th is next year, so we're all planning something super
Oh,
special.
wow.
But I honestly don't know what it is yet. Otherwise, I would hint. But it's going to be big and wonderful and special.
Oh,
I don't know where or when, but so we're all kind of talking about what we're going to do. And so we were just texting yesterday, and she lives in Arizona. So
oh, interesting.
yeah,
So, Jack,
yeah.
you hear that? She lives in Arizona.
Hey,
There you
Jack, she's
go.
there.
um, so, let's see here. I have to see. We got super chat just came in here. I want to make sure we get it. Molson Man with $5 super chat. Thank you, Molson Man, for your
Hi,
support.
thanks. Hi, Molson Man.
And he asks, or he says rather, so glad to meet you, Catherine. I had a
Thank you
huge
so much.
crush on Meg as a young boy.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Ooh.
Oh, you should have come to
Ooh.
camp then.
I love
We would have
it.
hung out.
That's awesome. And he says, just curious, how long did it take to film your death scene, which we haven't gotten to yet, but we can go ahead and touch on it now if you'd like, Catherine.
Sure, great question. Yeah, and thank you. I'm honored that you had a crush. I'm completely honored. But and she was so mean. How'd you have a crush on her? Meg was such a bitch. Um, But so I had 102 fever. I had the flu when we were filming that scene, and I couldn't believe how sick I got. My mom actually came out to be with me because I said, "How am I going to get in a shower and do a scene? I'm so sick." And she came up with Tylenol and everything, and the special effects on the back, the where the knife went in, took
Yeah.
about three hours to do, and I
Oh,
had to lie
wow.
face down on a mattress, and
Oh,
they did all the special effects. And we put the mattress right outside the shower. So when it was perfect being sick. I just kind of passed out and was sleeping, and they kept it warm. They had me covered from sort of the butt down. Yep, that's exactly where we were. But there was
wow.
a mattress under there. I don't know if you can see it. It looks a little thick, but there was a mattress under there. Yeah, you can kind of see
Underneath.
see my
Okay.
arms are grabbing. And so I was covered
Yeah.
from, yeah, so that took about 3 hours to do. And then I was just laying there. So it was perfect. But I mean, the shower
Wow.
scene, of course, was not easy because I was really sick. But thank God I had my mom there. And yeah, and then that
Yes.
scene, there was clearly no knife. And the director was just yelling out to me what to do. And he said, okay, the knife is going in, feel it. And now look right and look left. It's going down. It's going back up. It's going down. So he
Oh,
was kind of directing me the entire time what to do. And yeah, so it took all night. We filmed, it was all nighter. That was a long one. That was hard. But
wow.
it's interesting because my daughter, who again is an actress, and incredible horror film called Holidays, which is out on
Oh,
Netflix, and a Facebook Watch Crypt TV series called Mira Mira, if you want to watch, which is amazing. But she,
okay.
multiple times, every time she got a job, she would get sick. And I would tell her my story of how I got through my night on sleepaway camp, being so sick, and kind of did the same thing my mom did to me, helped me, was there for me, giving her Tylenol and everything. But I think it's an interesting dynamic, maybe something with the body when we know something really important and we're very
Hmm.
excited about it. Somehow something happens to our immune system. I don't know,
Yeah. It's
but
like,
got through it.
is it like an extra shot of adrenaline or something? I mean, I don't know what it
Maybe, or
is.
just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe just something. I don't know. It's really
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, so we got through that night, but it wasn't easy. It was not easy. It was not easy.
Oh, wow. Another super chat came in for $5 from JoJo. Oh, that's
Hi,
funny. Okay.
Jojo. Jojo on the radio.
So I think these hit like within seconds of each other because he was asking the same kind of question. How long did they have you propped up for the shower scene? There you go. That's wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like the shower scene didn't take as long as lying there, the shot of coming out and everything, and they had a mattress there for me, so I had to grab the
Yeah.
curtain and fall face down. But I felt like the shower scene, we had a limited amount of warm water, and it wasn't hot, it was warm. So we had
Oh.
to get it done because we were in a time crunch. So, you know, yeah.
Yeah. You got to get it done, whatever it takes, right? That's oh man.
I'd
But
say in my entire career, it was the most difficult filming I've ever done, for sure.
wow.
Yeah.
Especially because knowing how long it and now were there multiple takes of that where you're gonna I know you mentioned you're limited on the warm water, but was there multiple shots or there let's do another one just in case kind of a thing where you had to fall down several
Yeah.
times and
Yeah, a couple times. You have
yeah.
to. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
but not a lot. I mean, remember it was a low budget. We were on
Right.
film. We were filming in film, so there was not a lot of
True.
takes of stuff. You had to get it. I mean, I just remember sort of two takes of everything. You had to get it. You had to get it right
Wow.
away. Yeah,
Well, and I'll mention like this here, that looks fantastic. I mean,
he
that
was
is
amazing. I mean, we had a special effects genius, so incredible.
so good.
And
And yeah, go ahead.
I do remember wearing a half bathing suit, and I had a
Okay.
no nudity clause, and they asked if I would pull the bathing suit down because they were kept seeing it in the shot, and you can kind of for a split second see it in the shot. And I said no because my manager and my mom had told me don't, no matter what. And it wasn't, they didn't want to see anything. It was more
Hmm.
just technical. It wasn't anything like that, but I was just like, no,
Yeah.
it's not coming off. Nope.
Heck
It's not
no.
going any lower.
That's so good. Oh man. And so there's another shot here I wanted to show because I thought one thing about this film, even with the limited budget, was the practical effects were good. I really think they did a great job, all of them.
I agree. Yeah.
And then here's one here. Was this the one here? Yeah, with Mel. That
I
shot
know.
is,
I
I mean,
know.
And it's so well executed every time. Even now, when I watch that shot, it's like
Yeah,
seamless, straight through the. It's like
incredible.
amazing shot, just
Yeah,
well done. It
yeah.
holds up. It
It,
holds up.
it completely holds up. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. But the only thing is, okay, you know the boiling scene with the boiling pot with the
I
corn
do.
that he just said.
Yes.
Who has a pot that big?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, come on.
You've
That's
said
a
it.
big freaking pot.
I know. I'm like, you know how many ears of corn you could put in that thing because they were doing the corn. That
They
is
had to have it specially made. They had to have that pot specially made.
okay.
Yeah,
There we
yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's huge. I mean, I've never
Huge
I've
pot.
never seen one anything like
I
that
know.
before. And
I know.
but
It's
I guess
crazy.
Robert had a vision. It's what
He
he
had an
wanted.
amazing vision. He's an incredible creator and director. I wish he had done more. He's phenomenal, and I'm so glad he did this.
Yes. Oh, me too. Me too. I mean, it's a gem. It's a gem of a
Yeah,
movie. It really
yeah,
is.
totally, totally.
Now, Tori has a question. Again,
Hi,
she wants to ask
Tori.
you. Tori says, "I'm going to audition for to be in the new Scream sequel. Any upcoming, coming up? Any tips
Oh,
for an upcoming
wow,
actress?"
Tori.
Woo!
Oh, that's amazing. Never give up and be patient. That's all I can tell you. Be patient, be prepared. Um, you have a dream and you want to do it, you'll do it. Just don't give up and just, know your lines, hit your mark, all that stuff, all that technical stuff. But just don't give up and be patient and it'll happen. 100%. That's what
Love
I've
it.
told my kids and my daughter, and it ended up happening. And just when
Wow.
everybody gives up, people give up, it's never going to happen. So just and be kind and gracious, and when you're on set, be professional, and you're going to do incredible. You're going to do incredible.
Oh, love it. Wow, that's awesome. Great words for all of us, because and that's sound advice for life, Catherine. I mean, even outside of
Exactly.
acting, if you treat people right, you respect each
Yeah.
other and have a
Yeah.
good attitude and you're
Good
prepared,
attitude, yeah, good
yeah.
reputation, and
Hmm.
that's the most important thing. And I mean, I grew up, in New York City, born and raised, and I'm very down to earth, and I feel like it's really important to appreciate, everything, the opportunities that come, and always be gracious to everybody, because that who you are is that's all you have is your reputation,
Yes.
and be prepared, when luck meets opportunity. That's when it happens, and
Yes.
never ever ever give up. Don't ever give up, and it'll happen. I promise you.
Mm, love it. We need to hear. That's more of what we need to hear in this day and age.
That's how, as especially as an actor, that's the only way you can get through. is
Hmm.
is you're climbing the mountain, and you can see below where you've come from, but you can't see the top. You just have to believe it's there, and if you have a passion, that's what you love, then just go for it with everything you have.
Yes.
Just do it. And it doesn't
Yes.
matter if you have to bartend or waitress or whatever you have to do to get there. Just keep going, and eventually it'll happen.
Oh, that's awesome. That's Thank you for sharing that. That's
Of
wonderful.
course, of
Wonderful
course.
inspiration.
And
Um,
there's enough for everybody. There's enough for everybody.
Yes, that's right. A phrase I use here a lot of times because having a horror channel, there's a
Yeah,
lot of differing views on anything and everything.
yeah,
That this movie should have done that or that was whatever. We all have different, and I tell everyone, look, there is plenty of room at the table. Everyone has a seat. You know,
100%. That's how I
yeah,
feel.
yeah.
I,
It's just the way you need to do it because otherwise
yeah,
it turns into toxicity. Things get toxic, and it's just drama. And I'm like,
yeah.
that's not what should be about. This should be about encouraging and supporting each other.
I
So,
agree 100%. And sometimes it's hard for younger people to know that. You have to kind of learn that from
yeah,
experience. But
true.
I feel really strongly of women supporting women, especially as actors. And when one of my friends gets something, no matter what age, I have quite a few women actor friends, especially, and I couldn't be happier for them. And they know that. And like, especially now with the pandemic, we've had to help each other with auditions, because auditions now are self tapes from home, or
Mm,
you don't go in person anymore. And
yeah.
I have a few actor friends, and we all help each other, and they know I'm there for them 1,000%, and I want them to get that job. And I don't even care if it's a job I was up for. If I'm not going to get it, I want you to get it. And I'm
Oh,
very, very supportive of women, because I do believe there's enough for everybody, and what's meant for me is going to be mine.
Yes,
So
that's right. In some doors you think you want to go into, and you get it, and you're like, "Why am I? I don't want to be here." It's not what you thought it was going to be, and
100%,
so
100%. Yeah.
Me- Molson Man has a funny comment. He says, "You,
Molson man, what's
Molson Man,"
up?
he says, "You should have just waited in line in the shower in your original cabin, Meg."
I I would have been alive for the sequel.
You would have made it. That's right. You would have had dinner with Mel. It would have happened.
Not my Meg. Not
Oh,
Meg.
not
I
Meg.
know. What's up? Why did she have to go to that shower? She just waited.
Exactly.
Stupid bitch. Yeah.
Uh, that's so good. We got a question also for you from the chat from Ben Tramer. Who says, Ben Tramer, you gotta love that reference, Halloween.
Hi,
Um,
Ben.
says, hey, Catherine, what's your
Hey,
favorite
Ben.
scary movie?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, my favorite scary movie. I would have to say there's two. I would definitely say Halloween. And I got
Okay.
the honor of working with Jamie Lee Curtis in a Activia commercial a few years ago, and we had the
Ah.
best day ever. I spent 12 hours with her, and we became friendly, and she's incredible. And then I also love, love, love the remake of It. I think it's
Mm.
phenomenal, and of course know someone in it who I think is brilliant. But the boy who played Stanley, Wyatt Olaf, is we're all very close family friends, and he is a phenomenal actor and is going to be a superstar. And the director
Wow.
Andy is incredible. So I also love that. And of course, my daughter's movie Holidays. Her segment is Valentine's Day, which is really super creepy, and you've got to check it out. And Kevin Kolsch directed that, and he's a phenomenal director. So I've got a few, but I would say Halloween is probably up there with, yeah,
Ooh, man, it's
good
that's such a masterpiece
classic.
film.
It's
It
a
is a
masterpiece,
classic.
yeah, from
Yeah.
top, yeah, top to bottom, yeah,
Top to bottom. And so holidays too, guys. So everyone in the chat, be sure you make a note while we're talking about this
yeah.
for holidays. And your daughter wrote. She wrote and directed, not
She
directed, but she wrote or
no,
acted in it.
No. She acted in that one.
Acted in it.
She
Okay.
acted in the Valentine's Day segment. She plays sort of an Angela like character, so you'll know who she is.
Okay.
It's the Valentine's. It's lots of different little vignettes in different holidays. Sort of there's like a little 15-minute film of each holiday, and
Oh,
she's
got
Valentine's
you.
Day. Yeah, it's
Okay.
phenomenal, and yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. And then check out Crypt TV Mira Mira. It's spelled Mira, and they're 10-minute episodes. Will creep you the hell out. You'll love it. You'll love it. And she stars in that. So Madeline
Oh,
Coghlan is her name. Yeah,
Madeline. Okay,
yeah,
awesome. That's incredible,
amazing.
guys. We got to do that, everybody. So we're gonna. I'm excited to watch. I'm
Yeah,
kind of going to look it up and watch it
yeah. No,
tomorrow. I want to see it.
it's really good. The Crypt TV, the Facebook Watch one is amazing, and she's written a couple of incredible things that are in development now. So you'll see them soon. They'll be out. So
Ooh, fun.
yeah,
Okay.
she better hire me. If you're listening, Maddie, you better hire me.
That's right. Come on now.
Yeah.
Uh, we got a $10 super chat from James. Thank you, James. Thanks for your support,
James, what's
buddy.
up, James?
And James says, hi, Catherine.
Hi, James.
One of the unique characteristics of Sleepaway Camp is the number of antagonist characters. Do you
Mm.
find your fan base looks to Angela as a hero, protagonist, as compared to
Ooh,
Artie?
ooh, ooh. That's really good. Repeat that question one more time.
Sure, no problem. That's all right. Do you find your fan base looks to Angela as a hero, protagonist, as compared to Artie?
Yeah, I do. I think they definitely, I mean, from what I've seen at conventions and we've talked to people, especially the trans community, definitely find Angela as a hero for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great question. Thank you,
Yeah.
James, for the support, buddy. Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because
That's a
also
great
it's
question.
also, James, it's about bullying. It's about
Yeah.
basic bullying amongst anyone, kids, anybody, for whatever reason, if someone's different. And so I think the
Yep.
people who have been bullied feel like, wow, she fought back, and so I think
Mm-hmm.
there's some satisfaction in that. That happens to people who have been bullied, and we've all been bullied. So
Absolutely. And I will tell you, it's that to tackle that particular subject matter in '83 was bold. That was
Way ahead of its time.
way ahead. I mean,
Way ahead.
yeah,
Before the Crying Game, that movie was
yes,
after us, and we were the sort of the first one to do that.
hmm
And and you do have some compassion. I mean,
yeah.
Aunt Martha freaking made her go
Oh,
wacko.
you for real, and you really do, because
Angela. Yeah,
Angela, that's so great.
so creepy.
Oh man, it is creepy as heck, and
Yeah, yeah,
and here's a question that I've had, and we've kicked around in the community, and I think we all have a different opinion on it, or maybe we have similar opinions on it, but I want your opinion, Meg.
yeah.
What do you think about this?
Okay.
Did Ricky know
Mm.
Angela's hardware or not? Do you
Ooh,
think?
that's a really good one because they were so young, when she
Hmm.
came.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember Felicia's answer to that. She thinks yes. I think
Uh,
Felicia thinks yes, that he
mm,
knew, but was just sort of, that's why he was so protective over her
yes.
because he knew and had to protect her, was taught
Hmm.
to protect her. So I'm
Yes.
going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, he knew.
I think that's my view also, Catherine. It's like because
Yeah,
he's so protective of her, like he's
right,
watching over her, he's making sure no
right,
funny business going on, with her, and
right, right,
I
right.
suspected that too, and that had to be, and of course, just the dynamic of imagine him, as a character. I know
I
what
know.
his mental state is,
Yeah,
knowing this secret
right,
and
right, right.
trying to pretend like it is what it just that whole dynamic would be so difficult for a 12-year-old kid or whatever he was, at
Oh
that
my
time.
God,
And
totally,
oh my
totally,
gosh, I
totally.
mean, it's
Yeah,
complex for
I think so.
adults, much less
Oh yeah,
children. I mean,
totally. Yeah, I think he knew, but however Aunt Martha raised both of them, pushed it somewhere in the back of his head
hmm
where it was just became
yep,
normal
became
for him.
normal. Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. Now, Molson man has a $5 super chat. Molson's back. What's up, buddy? Good. Thank you for
Woohoo!
the super chat. He has a question for you,
What's
Catherine. He
up,
says, "What are your
Molson?
thoughts? What are your thoughts on Sleepaway Camp 2, 3, and Return to Sleepaway? Be honest. We won't tell anyone."
You're gonna hate me, but I have not seen them. I have not
That's
seen them.
fair.
And I feel I think I saw the second one like 30 years, like a long time ago, and I don't really remember it, but I have not seen the others, but I promise I'm going to in the next few weeks because there's a documentary coming out and everything, and that cast is in it, and I really want to be informed. So I haven't yet, but I will get back to you, I promise. I
Nice.
promise.
Perfect.
If I find you on social media or whatever, I will after I watch it, I will message you and we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Love it.
What did you? I want to know what did he feel about it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you let
let
me know.
us definitely.
Yeah.
So, guys, in the live chat, we've got about 5 more minutes with Catherine. She's been gracious to give us a whole
Aw,
hour tonight, which is amazing.
of course. I'm
And
having a blast.
oh, likewise, and I can't believe it's gone by this quickly. So we got about 5 minutes, and we're going to wrap up. So if you have any more burning questions, this is the time. Last chance, last call at the bar, right, Catherine?
Last
The
call at the
bar.
bar. Our bar
This
is
is
called
it.
Cocktails and Dreams. The sign isn't on, but we named it Cocktails and Dreams after the Tom Cruise movie Cocktail. So,
Oh, I love it.
yes.
So good. So this is it. Last call. So a couple of more questions I have for you. Then I want to talk to you about what you've got going on. I want to hear about conventions, anything else
Awesome.
that. So what would you say, looking back on this entire experience of Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah.
What are your maybe top two, let's say, most memorable moments, favorite moments that you to this day cherish?
Oh, most memorable moments. Sorry, my phone was just running on low
You're
battery.
okay.
I'm just charging it. I would say, I mean, probably most memorable moments. I mean, you
Or
mean like
favorite?
filming wise, like sort of,
Any, yeah, just overall, just like when you think back on it, the
yeah,
experience, like this moment, you always comes up first, or this one maybe comes up second, or just
yeah,
those kind of
yeah,
things,
yeah.
memories, I should say.
The memories, probably one of my favorite films scenes to film. It's so weird, but it was throwing Angela in the lake. Um,
Yeah,
I'd never done it. I'd never picked someone up that way. And it was a little technical, and we had to do it multiple times. And then I had to walk to the dock and throw her in and not have her hit her head on the side, which you can see if you watch it. I'm being really careful. I'm terrified she's going to hurt herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I always love doing something I've never done before and haven't done since. So, but I think really the whole filming of it was amazing. It was my sort of my first big role in a movie, and we were all such a tight group, uh,
Yeah.
having such a great time. Kind of living the dream. I was on a soap, and I was filming a movie, and then I did another movie after that, a horror film called Silent Madness in 3D. So um, I think the whole experience in itself was just so unique and wonderful, and I'm just grateful for it.
Oh, so and we're grateful. I'm grateful
Aw,
because it was you did such an amazing job and with such
thank
conviction
you.
and your performance was absolutely 100% nailed it. I mean, it's so
Thank you
believable.
so
I
much.
believe everything I'm seeing on screen, and so I want to thank you for taking that offer, that audition, and doing this movie
Thank
because
you.
it really, I'm serious. It's so fun, and even when the moments are awkward and not awkward like in bad. I mean, like
Yeah, yeah.
whenever you're talking about Angela, talk to me, say
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
it's so
yeah.
intense. It's like it's so believable. It feels again so real. It just feels very real.
Oh,
So
thank you so
wonderful
much. I
job.
appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that a lot. I'm grateful I did it too, and who
Yes.
knew what would happen with it? And it just shows you kind of you never know what's going to come along in your life, and who knew this would be the thing that
Yeah,
lasted
yeah.
as long as it has for me. So,
That's the great. That's so. And Molson says you look like a pro at it. Exactly. She did.
aw,
Absolutely.
thank you,
100%.
Molson. Thank you. Well, come on. The next con I'm doing is June 3rd, Monsterpalooza in Los Angeles. So if you're in LA, come out and say hi, and we'll hang out.
Ooh, that's fun. Got a few folks here that are saying goodbyes. If you guys want to get your goodbyes in, I'm going to go rapid fire in just a minute. Before I do
Okay.
that, last question. This comes from
Okay.
the chat. We'll let someone in our live chat close it out for questions.
Awesome.
And Tori has a question for you.
Tori. Hi,
Who's your
Tori.
who's your favorite scream queen?
Oh, oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to go with someone met recently, besides Felissa Rose, of course, but someone I met recently. We did a convention in Germany recently and we became good friends, Lauren Marie Taylor, who I think is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm going to put her up there and also, of course, Tuesday Night, who I think is incredible. So I'll say those
Yes.
two women.
Love it. Love it. Now, you mentioned a convention coming up in LA. Are there any other
Yes.
projects you'd like to share that we can maybe put on our radar? Any other events coming up that you'd like to share?
Oh gosh, you know what? I am out auditioning, so I'm hoping to have some
Okay.
stuff soon. I'm in the second season of Get Shorty on FX if you want to check that out, and that's incredible. And yeah, just you know, looking around for something else. I'm up for a few parts right now I can't talk about, but I'm hoping they come through
Ooh.
and fingers crossed, but it's
Yes.
something amazing. So, but there's lots
Ooh.
of good stuff on the horizon now that, I took a little time off with the pandemic to keep my family safe, but now I'm back
Sure.
out and ready to work and very excited about it.
Oh.
So,
Well, I'm
yeah.
excited too, and I'll have to believe me. I'll be staying in touch with you, like checking in with you every now and
Thank
then, seeing how things are
you.
going.
Thank you.
Uh,
And I will have a commercial running with my son starting in a week or two for Nationwide, where Tori Kelly is singing a song and I'm
oh.
teaching him how to drive. So that should be out in about a week or two. That'll be
Oh,
running.
fun. Oh my
Yeah, it's fun.
gosh.
It's a fun one. He's an
Oh,
actor as well, my
guys, that's so
son.
great. Oh, I love it. An acting family. That's so awesome.
Totally. Totally.
Tori says, Catherine, you were so amazing. Thanks for being with us. You're an
Thank
icon.
you, Tori. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You too.
Jen saying good night says, thank you for being here,
Night,
Catherine.
Jen. Thanks,
Molson,
Jen.
same thing from Molson. Thanks for being here. I was just so looking forward to this, and it did not
Oh,
disappoint.
thank you, Molson,
Oh.
man. Thank you.
JoJo says, take care, Catherine. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jojo.
Ben says, this
Oh.
is awesome. Watching from Wales. Thank you so much for doing
Oh
this.
my
Oh,
God, Ben. Amazing. I want to go
woo.
to Wales. I'm dying to go. I'm dying to
That is
go. So hopefully we'll meet when I come over there.
that is so awesome. Bob says this was amazing. Glad you've joined for the interview. It was truly great to hear everything. Thank you for being so awesome.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me jabber on.
And Catherine, I mean Carrie says yes. Catherine, you're an absolute
Thank
gem.
you. Well, thank you,
Awesome.
Carrie. My God, you have the nicest viewers. My God.
Let me tell you, they
Amazing.
are the best community
Wow.
on YouTube. The most
I
kind,
see
supportive
that.
individuals. It is a real community here that we support each
Wow.
other, we love each other, and it's 100% positivity,
Yeah,
100% of the time, and
I agree.
just solid people, really good people. So
Yeah, the
thank you for
horror
saying that.
community, of course, the horror community is like none other. And once I joined it officially, when I started doing conventions, I found my people like 100%. I've never found better people than the horror community. It's incredible.
Yes, yes, it is. It's unique. It's so unique
It
and,
is.
and different.
It is.
Um,
Everybody belongs.
Yes, that's right. There's again a place for everyone, as we talked about
Yeah,
earlier, and it's
yeah,
and hopefully that will bleed into other areas of life. Hopefully
totally,
so.
totally,
Well,
always.
guys, listen, everyone in the live chat, this has been a true pleasure. Catherine, I want to thank you for coming on the
Uh,
channel tonight. This has been something I've been so excited for, and I hope
uh,
you had a good
Thank
time.
you. I had the best time. Cheers. Good night. Thank you for having me. And I can't wait to meet everybody in person, hopefully at a convention or just walking down the street.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. And so,
Say
guys,
hi.
keep an eye out for her. Check. Be sure you keep your eyes open for conventions coming up. And if you have an opportunity to go and meet Catherine in person, I'm going to certainly do it if I get an opportunity. So, you guys definitely want to
Oh,
do that.
thank
Go
you.
show her some love and spend a little time with her out on the circuit. That would be
Thank
amazing.
you so
And
much.
well, guys, we'll call it
Thank
a
you.
night here. Again, thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the super chats, all your support.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for all being here, and I will catch you guys soon. And Catherine, thanks again. I'll talk to
Thank
you
you.
shortly. And until next time, everyone, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Good night.
Yeah. Night.